in a moment, but I really want you to focus on. Hey everybody, kind of a wild day out there, so we have a ton to go over. I want to focus mostly on what is breaking out, what is actually turning and what is not. So you'll remember this one from before. We've been talking about this since about $4. For those that have been following around, it was like 450 was the first enter. Let it trade up, got to that 50-day. Let's open this way up so you can see this. So we got up, right? Had a little reversal, 1, 2, 3 down, right? Here's your reversal bar right here. We know that from those patterns. Bullish hook, right? Reversal right there. So we can see that that happens right on the 50, gives us great positioning. What is that going to do for us? Well, that just gave us a great breakout. Now, take a look at this, okay? So the volume for the past 4 days is going up. That's what you need to focus on. Are you seeing acceleration of volume? You are. If you look at the past 2 weeks, right, from the 14th, 15th, look at all that buying. So this is the sector that I think you need to be in now. I'll get into it in a moment, but I really want you to focus on LABU as a 3X ETF. We are in this from 2 separate spots. If you don't get the newsletter, the free version, there's a version that comes out on Monday morning before the market, Friday close, and then Wednesday I actually go over the positions that we're doing in the trading room. So as you see this breakout right here, and you see this push, I've got nothing but blue skies above now. I mean, your next spot is really up here. It's like $10. So that we'll be up 100% in this when we get to that, over 100%. We're almost up 100% now when everyone's talking about a bear market. So it really, I really want to stress that it's dependent not only on the technicals on how things are moving, you really need to understand the macro issues of inflation and what sectors are going to move when you come out of this and what sectors can actually profit in a recession or a declining GDP. I mean, if you just think about it logically, this is something we started buying in the 60s, and this is XBI. XBI is a biotech ETF. You need to look at this, and you need to start going through what's in here and start running charts on it. Sort by stocks that are above the 200-day, because we all know that the majority of stocks are not above their 200-day. But if you don't want to go and find a stock, just buy this index. It's really simple. I mean, there's your line right there. It's going straight across. It doesn't get any cleaner. We bought the reversal down here. We added to it in here. I mean, there's very little to say about it. I'm showing you these because, not just because we're in them from the group, but I'm showing you these because to me, these are just getting started. It doesn't mean we're going to go straight up, but I walked through about a week ago different patterns, right? This is predictive, right? To think that you might buy this. This is constructive that we got over this. Comes back, retest, breaks out. This is confirmation, right? You have all 3 stages staring you right in the face right there. So it doesn't get any cleaner. But make sure you subscribe to the channel and click all notifications, because what we go over here is timely, and you won't get all the content if you don't click all notification. So that's where my focus is. My focus is in these names, paying attention to them, seeing how they're acting. Now, one that they were all over, and it was not one that I was crazy about that they did in the trading room, was this NVEX. To me, it was like trading LABU. Why bother, right? But this does give you very company-specific risk. Now you got over that 63.23. If you can get over 65 3/4, you're over some pretty serious resistance if you can pop over that. So if I can get over that, can I get to that 200-day? I don't know, because look at all this that we're dealing with here. Take a look at this on volume by price. You have a lot of resistance in here before you can get to that level. So that's really something that we have to watch. But hopefully you're catching the theme. We're looking at bases and breaking out of bases. That's very different than when someone's looking at NVIDIA and saying, oh, NVIDIA is going to run. There's nothing redeeming about that chart, right? Nothing. I mean, people are happy that they traded it. They might come in tomorrow. It might gap up again. Eventually, we are due for a dead cat bounce. We are grossly oversold in the NASDAQ. We'll get into it later. But that doesn't mean that chart looks the same as this, right? This has been forming a base since April. This just hit a new low, right? Yesterday. Actually, today even it hit another new low. So that's what you're dealing with. Now, the news out of Tesla was very interesting to me. It missed. It came down, gapped down, and then went higher. Goldman's comments today really drove it. People took it to heart, and then they just had the shorts trapped all day, so they couldn't get out. But I just want to point something out. So this is a 20 SMA line. Okay, so in other words, this is a simple moving average for this particular time period. And here we are, and now you have the open. Now, if you just kind of take a look at what's going on here, how many times were we even above? Not until the end of the day were we even above average buying volume on that name. Essentially, you just had sellers just not selling and just letting it go. Probably looking for greener pastures to short it, in my opinion, is what I think they're doing. But could this be forming a base? It could. You know, there is a wedge line right here. And we've been talking about this wedge line for some time. But let's just put it back in so we can kind of see what's going on here. So here you are. Let's get rid of these indicators. You're going sideways, but since May, you have not taken out a new low, and you're making higher lows, right? So could this bounce? Absolutely. Can this get up to 745? Absolutely. I would just caution you to be a little cautious there. The options are very inflated if you're playing options, and I'm in no man's land trading in this versus ideas that I'm trying to point out that are breaking out of bases. Do you see the difference? Certain names are breaking out of bases. This is one we did today in the room. Again, this was not my idea. It was someone else pointed this one out, and I just walked through where to buy it, like right off of this break after you had this high tight flag and you broke out of it. But these are the kinds of names that are just running. Okay, therapeutics. I mean, just look for these kinds of names when you see them. And this was one we went over and talked about if it flipped this channel could go. It's not my kind of trade in this kind of market, but there it is. I mean, you could have made $6, $7 fairly easy on this trade. Bio, anything like that, you're starting to see real attention paid to, because it doesn't really matter what inflation or recession is doing with these names unless they're borrowing money. They have a good drug and the drug works, you're going to utilize the drug. Don't overthink it, but we should talk about what's going on out there. So we shorted a couple of these names today, did fairly well with them, but let's talk about energy and what's going on and put these these lines in, the indicators. So here you are with the 21 and the 50 crossing down. Okay, this is a bearish engulfing. We all know what they look like. And there it is. Now you're at the 200-day. Look, this is an enormous H. Tried to rally, get some support, didn't. Gave you another signal right here. We shorted XOM today and did fairly well with it. At one point, I think we were up over $3 or $4 in the short. Let's call it $3. Yeah. So we started at 86. And that's a really simple pattern. And that's the other thing I really want you to take away from this conversation today. Don't overthink these. If you have a daily chart that's pointing down right now, like this, right? Or even NVIDIA, daily charts that are pointing down, and you see signals like this. Let's get rid of all these indicators. And you see daily signals like, this, where you start hitting tweezers. Okay, they're not all going to work, right? But most of these, we're going to give you a shot to at least get up and get up 1 to 2R risk versus return, right? You put them on, they work, they don't work, you get stopped out. It's not that big of a deal, right? But that's where you're making your money. That's how we caught NVIDIA back here at like 169, right off that, where was it? Right off here, right off that reversal move. And then there was another entry right here. So you have to take shots. Doesn't mean that they're all going to work, just honor your stops. But don't change your thesis based upon the fact that they're going up for one day. Now for us on XOM, this was pretty simple. And this was off of a 1 minute. I'm showing you this because these have broken. It's very clear that these have broken. And it was something as simplistic as this. And let's get rid of the pre and the post so you can understand the move itself. So this was the break right here. Okay, these were other lines from before on a daily. I'm going to leave those in, but that's the break from before. So I just want to show you, you opened, you came down, everybody panics. You have your reversal right here, right? So here's your reversal, you flip. Everybody now knows that's a bullish hook reversal. Watch that candlestick video. I'll link at the end. I can't stress enough. You could literally just make money off these reversal patterns all day long. So then you flipped right here. That was it. It was risk on. We put the short on and then we just stayed with it. Triggered at 820 by the time, or 86.20. By the time we got in with slippage, it was around 86. This is your stop. Your risk is 70 cents. So we made 4 to 1 if you closed perfectly on it. Say you didn't, you made 3 to 1. That's what you're trying to do here. You're trying to pull money out of the market until this settles down, and you find stocks that are trading and breaking out of bases, bringing us back home to what is trading out of a base. Go through XBI tonight. I can't stress this enough. Go through XBI, go through IBB, start pulling out the names and start sorting by relative strength. The very first thing you're going to want to sort by with these names is who are the largest that are in the space. Okay, start seeing if they're moving. If they're not, start looking for the ones that broke out today, right? Or look for the ones that are setting up, i.e. this one, right? You're starting to see these setups all over the place. In regards to the indexes, I'll cover them really quickly. To me, you're in no man's land. There's really very little to do. You're kind of forming a W. Maybe you break out, maybe you don't. I went right to the 21 again and rejected. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see this roll tomorrow. Just for, FYI, I am short some things in here on the tech side, but I'm not biotech. And if you take a look at the SPY, I mean, what's really changed? What's really changed there? I mean, there's very little to talk about. We rallied up, but, we need that follow through. We're up 15 basis points on the day. So I'm not, doing cartwheels. I would say this, and we talked about this, with the bond market rallying, really pay close attention to now, because these are the kinds of names that once you start getting above major support, these can really start building and curling and start building the right side up. And that's what you're looking for. And you're seeing a lot of interest in those based upon rates coming down. Look at Toll Brothers today. And look what it just got over. Whoops, that's not it. Hold on. Let's get rid of those. Let's get to this. Look what we just got over and closed over. You closed over the 50-day. Haven't done that for about 2 months. So something to think about. That's it. That's all I have. I thought it was better to go through and give an opinion on what's going on out there, because this is a very trying time. So you now know what you should be focused on. Trade to win tomorrow, everybody. Have a great evening.